Good morning, my dear friends. Happy Sunday. We are now on the 25th Sunday in Ordinary Time. And this is the liturgy of today is challenging us that as God trusts us, since He entrusts to us His manifold gifts and blessing, He intends that He would make of us a trustworthy, good, prudent stewards. When we hear Jesus in our gospel today, He said, "The person who is trustworthy in small matters is also trustworthy in great ones." This statement comes from the one who knows the hearts of us all. As in the book of Samuel, the Lord looks not on appearances, but on the heart. So knowing this, God entrusts to us gifts and blessings. And I'm convinced that He truly trusts us and He has confidence in us that we will aim at fulfilling His vision, His plan, His will for all humanity. And in our second reading, St. Paul put it in this way: this is the will of God, that all men will be saved and to come to the knowledge of the truth. My dear friends, are we embracing this challenge from the Lord? Are we trying to live our life as trustworthy servant of His? We have to be warned that as the evil one is also active, he is meant to tempt us to go against the original intention of God. And when we give in to that temptation and fall in the snare of the devil, we will disappoint God. We become untrustworthy. We become ungrateful, not generous in our dealings. We will become greedy, dishonest, and unjust, as we hear the worst in our first reading, whereby it said, trampling down upon the needy and destroying the poor. That's how terrible it would look like if we give in to the temptation of the evil one, to become greedy and to become idolatrous. In today's particular challenge, my dear friends, as regards to trustworthiness that God is challenging us, it is on the aspect of our dealings with riches and money or possession. So we have to ask ourselves, how do we deal with them? How do we deal with this earthly material goods, money, possession? My dear friends, the real battlefield in this challenge is in our hearts. For it is not money or riches itself that is the ultimate cause of our downfall, but it is our disordered desire, our greediness, which leads to idolatry, trusting more on earthly possession instead of trusting more on God. But how do we counter this, my dear friends? Since it is in the hearts, which is the true battlefield of this, we also have to counter it with our hearts full of gratitude to God and generosity also towards our needy brothers and sisters. Having said that, I would like to say this as a personal sharing, on a personal note, my experience here. I just arrived like 1 month already. August 20, I arrived here. I was coming from totally different context, from Papua New Guinea, a mission area, a third world country, whatever you describe it. It's a poor mission that we were serving. And coming here I'm aware that it is truly different context. And having heard also from, people kind of telling me of some things ahead of the situation. So kind of, I developed a kind of bias, and I got some kind of hesitation in my heart. Don't blame me, blame them. No, no, just joking. So because of that, I have that hesitation. But because of obedience, I have to come here. And in my first month, I was kind of really just observing the affluence of our place here. Totally different from my previous experience. I have to tell you this, in the rectory and in the room that is assigned to me to use while I'm here serving in this parish. The bathroom, the size of the bathroom is actually the size of the room that I'm using there. And that bathroom is well furnished than the one I'm using. Things like that. There is kind of extravagance here. Don't forget the food. The food here, I kind of feel guilty when we start to throw the spoiled ones because we were not able to consume them. My experience in my previous parish is kind of really opposite. We have to look for it, work for it, or even wait for it. I have to tell you the context. Our mission is in the island, far from the main town where we get our goods. It would take us 1.5 hours just to reach by speedboat, 40 horsepower. Those who are using this vehicle, fiberglass boat. Our outboard motor is 40 horsepower. So kind of just to give you a context, we are traveling around 28 knots, something like that, on average. But it would take us 1.5 hours to reach town, and there we have to purchase our goods, food, and things like that. So I'm saying that at times we really have to wait, kind of fasting sometimes. Not that we are starving, because we are near the sea, we fish, and we have food. But like the normal, I'm a Filipino, so our staple food is rice. So to get rice, we don't have rice in the island. We have to go to town, buy it in the store, things like that. But here, this is what I would like also to say. You know what I discovered? Different, opposite to the one that is that they told me. This parish, I would like to say, is a very generous and accommodating, welcoming parish. Not only in these aspects, but I would like to tell you, since I was talking about food, what amazes me is this. Somebody, this is the story of Father Joe, our pastor. One time, someone approached him and asked his permission. Father, we are intending to establish or create a new ministry in the parish. And at the back of his head, he said, we have already a lot of ministries in our parish. What could this ministry be? So he just listened. But to his surprise, the one who approached him, she said that, Father, we intend that we will assign families who will bring you food to the rectory, maybe twice a week. And it's true, my dear friends. Every 2 weeks, two times in a week, normally on Monday and Thursday, we always receive kind of food from you. And sometimes we don't need to cook. We just reheat it and we're satisfied. And still, those food sometimes get spoiled because we cannot consume them. Things like that. So what I'm saying here is this. In retrospect, I just thought that if this is the general atmosphere or the general culture of our country, no wonder then that God bless this country. Because of your generosity and kindness, because of Him entrusting to you many blessings and graces, which make you enjoy this abundance. But in the midst of all this abundant blessings from the Lord, you are not dissuaded. You have the right hearts and mind to enjoy these graces and blessings from God, use it for His glory, and be generous to others. And I think that's something that we have to continue. And I encourage you, my dear friends, my dear brothers and sisters in this parish, because this is the will of God for us, to use these earthly things for His glory, and to use this to give assistance and help to the needy. And I congratulate you for that, and I can continue to encourage you to do this. So, my dear friends, we have to follow God's will, follow His original design. We have to be trustworthy servants of His manifold gifts and graces. For as He said, the person who is trustworthy in small matters, on earthly things, is trustworthy of great ones and worthy to receive the great rewards in heaven.